everybody, and welcome to another edition of WMSE's Local Live. We are live at the Ring tonight, and we want to thank everybody for joining in tonight, broadcasting from the Ring in Walker's Point. Of course, tonight's broadcast also being live streamed. You can watch on WMSE.org, as well as on WMSE's YouTube and Vimeo channels.
And Local Live tonight is presented by Third Space Brewing. You have your home, you have your work, but everyone needs a third space. Now, please give a warm welcome to our musical guest for tonight, Trapper Schoepp.
Capsized, paralyzed, caught in a perfect storm. Rough ride, riptide, I was trying to get to shore. Midst a sea of emotion, a life led in perpetual motion. After many months lost at sea, the loneliness is part of being free under yellow. Pulling me, all its phases rearranging the places in between. Midst a sea of emotion, a life led in perpetual motion. After many months lost at sea, the loneliness is part of being free under yellow moon. Under yellow tried to hide so far away from me. Survived, arrived, another odyssey. Midst a sea of emotion, a life led in perpetual motion. After many months lost at sea, the loneliness is part of being free under yellow. Thank you. Pleasure to be here at an actually live stream. We're going to do this one called Mayday off our new album. I was born on the first day, 5th month, called me here today to say I need you in the worst way. Last train, Empire Railway, thought I was insane, but I did it anyway. You picked me up to say I need you in the worst way. Left on the first train, Scottish Railway, trying to stay. You're a bad drug, yeah, it's time to kick it. Honey, I've been addicted. You're a bad drug, yeah, it's time to kick it. Honey, I've been addicted. Honey, I've been addicted. Honey, I've been addicted. Thank you to everybody tuned in to this live stream tonight. Thank you to WMSE for having us. My name's Trapper Schoepp. We have a new album called Mayday out this Friday. We're going to do another one from that album. I wrote this one at the Hotel Astor in downtown Milwaukee here. Let's do it. Running my knuckles and clench my fist. Knock down your door in the darkness. This building's burning, let's get out, but you won't wake up. Not just shout, now I wish I would have told you that I loved you from the very start. Yeah, I wish I would have told you that I loved you from the very start. I smell oil, clouds of smoke here, broken glass. Start to choke, we gotta go, baby, oh this is the end. I gotta say what I never said. I wish I would have told you that I loved you from the very start. Yeah, I wish I would have told you that I loved you from the very start. Should I not try to save you? I would be haunted till my dying day. Should I not leave with you? I would be haunted, honey, either way. I would be haunted, honey, either way. I would be haunted, honey, either way. Yeah, I wish I would have told you that I loved you from the very start.
All right, Trapper Schoepp, we are live at the Ring for Local Live tonight, and it's time for our first interview portion of the program. First off, Trapper, would you like to introduce the band?
Yes, we have Matt Smith over here on the Gibson Les Paul. We have Jacob Bickness back here on the drums and percussion. And my brother, I only got one of them, Tanner Schoepp over here on the bass guitar.
All right. Well, welcome. Glad to have you. We just heard, as you mentioned, a song from your new album called Hotel Astor.
Or Astor Hotel, you know.
And
Tomato, you say tomato.
either way. And it's kind of inspired by true events, as they say in the film industry.
Yeah, well, I was in between houses, and I got put up at the Hotel Astor for what I thought was going to be 1 week, turned into 2 weeks, turned into 3 weeks, turned into 3 months. And after a while, I noticed that there were all these flickering lights and strange sounds and auras. I would describe it as being, the Shining, sort of Milwaukee, the Shining Hotel. I guess the Pfister is a close second, but I was living there for a few months and just getting a bit creeped out. And one of my friends said, I got a spare ticket to this ghost tour of Milwaukee. Do you want to go? I said, yeah, that would be great. I'm free. So I went on the ghost tour. It winded all around downtown Milwaukee, and I noticed it's just creeping closer and closer to the Hotel Astor. And the tour guide said, we pulled up to the Astor, and she said, and now for one of the most haunted spots in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Astor Hotel. I said, terrific. And I raised my hand and I said, I have some firsthand accounts. And she said, well, here's what's going on. And I said, okay, well, what is it? And in 1935, there was a fire at the Astor Hotel, and there was a nurse and her deaf patient next door to each other. And the fire was roaring, and the nurse was trying repeatedly to wake up her patient over and over. And he didn't wake, and they were both found next to each other, and there were claw marks on the door, actually pound marks. And
Wow.
As told by the Milwaukee tour guide, I'm sure she took some creative liberties, as I did with the song. But I turned it into sort of a bit of a love story between the two, as I just think it's a testament to what humans will do for each other in desperate situations, what that nurse did for her patient. So
Very cool. A positive spin on a tragedy. I like that.
My question feels so boring now. I was going to say, the past year obviously has had its ups and downs. How have you utilized both to your advantage?
Well, I want to start by saying it is terrific playing for an audience of 2 tonight. The last performance I played in front of anyone was for the guy that fixed my dishwasher. He came in, swapped out the dishwasher. We start talking, and I hadn't really seen anyone except my partner and my brother for a few months. And start talking music. My studio's right by the kitchen, and I'm like, hey man, do you want to hear a song? And he's like, yeah, I guess. So I'm trying out this new material on him, and I'm like, man, this is a personal rock bottom, and a rock bottom of quarantine and all that going on. But yeah, I think I've taken the time to recalibrate and adjust some things in my own life, take my foot off the gas a bit, and make this album with a terrific producer, engineer, jack of all trades named Ian Olvera, and it was with this band, and I've been all over the world with these guys. So it was great to finally get in the studio and hunker down and take our time to make an album together, because we had nowhere to go. So.
Well, maybe that dishwasher is watching this right now.
Yeah, exactly. I would hope.
All right.
Did he clap when you played?
It was more of the crowd goes mild. It's it's oh, cool. So is that on your album, or it's just kind of awkward, but.
Well, you're gonna launch into a song that you had a pretty awesome video for. You want to lead into that a little bit?
Yeah, I'll try to make the story brief. I know I go long. But yeah, this was the day after Thanksgiving, and my roommate had just come into a drone. And I thought, well, we probably aren't going to be able to do a high-budget, high-production music video, so let's take your drone and see what we can do. So the song is called River Called Disaster, and I know it's on the nose a bit, but I thought, well, why don't we throw a piano in a river and light it on fire? Because, the last 4 years, depending your political affiliation, has been a dumpster fire. So I thought, let's light the thing on fire and leave it in the river like a Werner Herzog movie or something. But so we get in the river, we get the piano off Craigslist, this sweet woman in Pewaukee. She had no idea what was, to become of the piano. But we get the thing in the river, we get the thing on fire in the river, and the drone, like our only thing we were filming with, crashes into a tree and falls in the river. And it was that moment that, they say, is it the art imitating the life imitating the art? It was like truly a river called disaster. I was waist deep, freezing cold river, November, thought, I hate my life. This is a true disaster moment, another personal rock bottom. But yeah, it was good though. We got the piano out of the river and filmed the rest of it on an iPhone. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's hear it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Trapper Schoepp on WMSE's Local Live.
Ready? Bent up, beat up, broken and bruised, tied up, taken, mistaken and used. Late night heartache, then comes a morning after I'm broke down in a river called disaster. Hit rock bottom, kept on digging, took my medicine and kept on digging. Hey doc, you think could get there any faster? Wanna float like a fish from this river called disaster. Down in the flood, blood and mud. Down in the flood, blood and mud. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. Down here it tastes like turpentine. I know I'm not like that pastor who baptized me in a river called disaster. Down in the flood, blood and mud. Down in the flood, blood and mud. Down in the flood, blood and mud. Down in the flood. I drifted too far from the shore, caught in the current of more. Get me back to my room, the hotel at last. You don't want to drown in this river called disaster. Down in the flood, blood and mud. Down in the flood, blood and mud. Down in the flood, blood and mud. Down in the flood. Little drop. Go to the garden, that's where it starts, with body and blood, flesh and heart. I was a was missing, then nuts have been spoke, and baby we listen. Give me that little drop, little drop, little drop, little drop of medicine, medicine, medicine. Give me that little drop, little drop, little drop, little drop of medicine. Eat from the tree, it will not kill you. Sink your teeth in, go on and fill you. It's sweet like a candy, but more divine. Take one more bite from that hanging vine. Give me that little drop, little drop, little drop, little drop of medicine, medicine, medicine. Give me that little drop, little drop, little drop, little drop of medicine. No thorns, no thistles, dust to dust. The ground grows plenty, trees rise up. I pick you the fruit, turn it to wine. A little bit of poison, but I feel fine. Give me that little drop, little drop, little drop, little drop of medicine, medicine, medicine. Give me that little drop, little drop, little drop, little drop of medicine.
All right.
WMSC's Local Live, live from the ring. Trapper Schoepp.
Trapper Schoepp's new record is called Mayday, and we want to talk a little bit about the recording of that Mayday record in a second. And it's hard to multitask, I know, tuning and talking. But you can find the record on Grand Phony Records officially this Friday, is what I've been told. And Trapper, we wanted to know, you recorded the album at Wire and Vice in Wauwatosa here, and your engineer is a local engineer and musician, Ian Olvera, and we wanted to know, what did Ian bring to the record in particular, because he seems to have played, fairly integral role in your album.
Yeah, he brought the patience of a glacier. He just was there every step of the way, basically taking on the jobs of 3 different people, producer, engineer, opened up the studio, closed it down at night. So yeah, he took the record in a lot of different twists and turns that I don't know that we would have otherwise. So yeah, and he's been one of my oldest friends, so it's just good to make music with him.
How did you guys meet?
Pretty interesting. We met on a Bob Dylan message board when we were 15. And
Wow.
then, Then later we stood by each other at a concert, and it wasn't until the end of the concert that we actually realized, who each other was, so.
Crazy.
It's pretty funny.
How would you say you approached the writing and recording of this album maybe differently than you did with your last album, Primetime Illusion?
Yeah, I would say we took our time, and my brother Tanner here was with me every step of the way writing songs at the piano. We were quarantined, locked down together, so yeah, we definitely had a lot of time to just sit with everything a bit more than previous releases.
So you just played River Called Disaster, which I understand is the first song you've written on piano, and I was wondering, how did that instrument come into your life at this particular moment over, any other in time?
Yeah, again, I think the surplus of time, just being able to sit there and hammer out songs on the piano, and I didn't have the luxury of being able to call up X, Y, or Z to take on the piano part on the record. So on the last one we made with Patrick Sansone from Wilco, I rehearsed and wrote songs for that record on piano. And, I remember sitting at the piano with him and kind of showing him what, okay, this is kind of how I wanted to do this song. And then he would start playing it, and I would go make a coffee because resign, okay, you got this. So, yeah, I think that was the difference there is I kind of had to take on some more roles as well, like Ian, so.
So now, do you what kind of songs do you practice when you're practicing piano? Like, what's your go-to jams?
Practicing piano at home, like Fats Domino kind of stuff, just because it's 1,
Okay.
4, 5, and I can just play single chords and let Fats do everything on the right hand. I just stick to the basic.
Okay. Well, should we have a couple more songs?
Yeah,
Are we ready?
Let's do it. Yeah, this is a song we recorded with Ian Olvera at Wire and Vice. It was the last song that Warren Zevon ever recorded, called Keep Me in Your Heart.
Very cool.
Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for a while. If I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sun, keep me in your heart for a while. There's a train leaving nightly called when all is said and done. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha la 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 la. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile. You know I'm tied to you like the buttons on your blouse. Keep me in your heart for a while. Hold me in your thoughts, take me to your dreams. Touch me as I fall into view. When the winter comes, keep the fires lit, and I will be right next to you. Engine drivers headed north to Pleasant Stream. Keep me in your heart for a while. These wheels keep a-turning, but they're running out of steam. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha la 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 la. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha la 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 la. Keep me in your heart for a while.
this one in Paris on a tour in 2019, inspired by a rare but real psychiatric condition called Paris syndrome. And it happens to some Paris tourists when they come to the City of Lights and they get let down. And there's actually a Paris syndrome hotline set up for a while there. But I wrote this one in Paris.
There's fact, fiction, and fantasy of you and me. I wanted to believe there's maps, memories upon a wall, but see it's him that's trying to call you. You're giving me Paris syndrome. This is not what I expected. You're giving me Paris syndrome. Disconnected, I am lost. Disconnected, I am lost. There's fact, fiction, and fantasy, the stuff of movies and make-believe. Right when I needed you the most, you came like an angel and left like a ghost. You're giving me Paris syndrome. This is not what I expected. You're giving me Paris syndrome. Disconnected, I am lost. Disconnected, I am lost. There's fact, fiction, and fantasy. Let down lovers not meant to be. She slept through pale afternoon. He drank that poison way too soon. You're giving me Paris syndrome. This is not what I expected. You're giving me Paris syndrome. Disconnected, I am lost. Disconnected, I am lost. Disconnected, and I am lost.
All right, that was Paris Syndrome from Trapper Schoepp and its brother Tanner. And we're going to do some more interview questions while the rest of the band gets back on stage. They're going to do some more full band sets. But Cal wanted to ask you a burning question.
I got to know more about this Paris syndrome because I had never heard of it until, we were looking for, stuff to ask you for this interview. How did you come across it? Did you see a sign for the hotline or?
We were all in the van on a tour, and I think one of us had heard about it from a This American Life episode or something like that. And then someone said in the van, I've never been to Paris before. And I said, well, I hope you don't get let down and get Paris syndrome, sort of thing. And then it all just sort of spun off from there. But I thought it was kind of a good metaphor for relationships and love and all that. But I really did enjoy my first trip to Paris, so I did not get the syndrome or anything of that nature.
Well, it's all about expectations, right?
Exactly.
Do you have a situation that you've gone through before where you've experienced something of being like colossally let down by something you thought was going to be great?
We don't have time for that, Cal.
Oh, we have time.
Yeah, I think we all experience those moments and the build up and then the expectation and then the letdown. Yeah, we're gonna do next another song that's a geographical sort of song because we're an Americana band, got to sing about all these cities that we've had hard luck in. But the next one that we're going to do is called Ogallala, and we've been singing this one for years. And it's inspired by, we were opening up for Social Distortion in LA, actually, at Disneyland. And a big sold-out show, you know, really kind of a strange irony opening up for Social Distortion, a punk rock band at Disneyland. But that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, I got sprayed with a fire extinguisher. So talk about being let down. And then the next day, we're trying to get home to Wisconsin, a straight shot from Los Angeles, and got caught in a terrible blizzard in the Great Plains. Semi-truck jackknifed off the road, and we got stuck at this little Super 8 hotel for 3 days. They shut down the interstate right around Christmas time. So, yeah, does that answer your question?
That works.
definitely
There's no
sucks.
Ogallala syndrome, but still, I get the picture.
That's for the next album, but
Well, I know, yeah, that story just made me think of intense tour situations and show situations, but I was going to ask about this week in particular because your album's coming out on Friday, and you seem to have a pretty stacked week. Could you maybe regale us with, like, what's all going down for you this week and what you're looking forward to?
Well, as if it wasn't busy enough, we actually planned a recording session tomorrow with Ian. That's a whole nother thing. But on Friday, we are playing the 10th anniversary of the Zippin' Pippin roller coaster, which just so happens to be our release day. And we released an album tribute to the Bay Beach Amusement Park, where you basically go on 6 different rides at the park. It's absolutely, kind of an absurd novelty idea. But so we're playing the 10th anniversary of the Zippin' Pippin roller coaster, Elvis's favorite ride. And then the next day we're playing the scene of the Drone River disaster with the piano on fire. So that will be a good time. And then Sunday I'm doing the Bob Dylan at 80 virtual symposium through the Tulsa Institute in Oklahoma. They're opening up a Bob Dylan Center, and they have an institute. So I'm gonna talk about the song I published with Bob Dylan on Wisconsin, which we'll do after Ogallala. So yeah, it's a pretty stacked week.
That's great. What an honor for you to take part in that, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it will be a interesting week for sure. We're all out here for the first time, all hanging out again. So, yeah, hopefully it's a good, fun, and safe time for all.
Now, you did mention the appliance repairman, but you also did play a show recently for a Rock the Green event.
Oh, yeah.
And
I saw you there.
Yeah, we ran into each other, and there were people there. What did that feel like, being in front of people again?
Well, it wasn't just people. It was people on bikes powering a stage. So it was that was surreal enough, being in a barn with people riding bikes to power the stage. But then coming out of lockdown and quarantine to that sort of a show was oh, so this is the new norm? It was no, it was a really special event because Dan, who created the whole barn, passed away this year. So that was the first, I think one of the first shows they had done there since then, and one of our first shows as well coming back. So yeah, it all feels a bit strange, but
we're all kind of getting used to it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully. Well, we're glad to be able to spend some time getting used to it with you guys.
Yeah, thanks,
And
Cal.
we got Ogallala is up next.
Yeah, speaking of being kind of all holed up, let's do it.
Cool.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
In the headlights a semi-jackknifed. I felt alright when they shut down I-80, pulled over to the shoulder, took a interlude. In a snowed in mood, I saw a movie, Unexpected Journey. Felt like Martin Freeman when he was first leaving. I'm waiting for the road to thaw, waiting for the road to thaw in a town called Oka-la-la-la, 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 oh, oh. Benny got the best rate at that Super 8, and I dreamt I'd skate with sugar on the black ice. It felt like yesterday. Oh wait, it was. I was under the LA sun. Wish I got to Omaha. Wish I got to Omaha. Now, Oka-la-la-la, 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 oh, oh. Well, I watched the news at 9, saw a car that could have been mine. It was crushed like a can. Travel safe, said the weatherman. I'm waiting for the road to thaw. Wish I got to Omaha. Now, Oka-la-la-la, 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 oh, oh. Oka-la-la-la, 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 oh, oh. I'm waiting for the road to thaw. Wish I got to Omaha. Oh.
Thank you. So I mentioned before this song that I co-wrote, you could say, with Bob Dylan. But when Bob Dylan was 20, he wrote this song about Wisconsin, and it got lost for 57 years. And I was scrolling through the internet one day, and I saw this article that said, "Long lost lyrics about Wisconsin, up for auction, $30,000. And I thought, well, I don't have that kind of dough around, but I could probably finish the song. So I sat down at the piano, and I added a chorus to it, made it a bit of a waltz, and we booked a room at Wire and Vice that weekend, and the song went pretty well. We thought, all right, we'll throw it out there on the internet. And Billboard took notice, Rolling Stone took notice, and then, of course, Bob Dylan's lawyers took notice. But it was good. They said, how would you feel about publishing this song with Bob Dylan? I said, obviously very good. So we're going to do this one. And Bob Dylan turns 80 on Monday, so go Bob. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
Yeah, Wisconsin is a dairy state, guess you all know it well. I was in Wauwatosa, the truth I will tell. It's a milk and cheese and cream, yes, I've known it all my days. And I'm going to my hometown, I'm leaving right away. I'm headed to Wisconsin, 2,000 miles to go. Madison morning now, it seems. I'll tune my banjo in the hills, feast on milk and cream, and I'll stamp my foot through the grass. Never know a care. Yes, my home's in Wisconsin, and I'm going there on Wisconsin. On Wisconsin, it's calling me that way. On Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, I think I'm going to stay. Yes, it's people with the city ways are driving me insane to drink. Yes, my home's in Wisconsin. It's a better place, I think. I have been to California and I've been all around, but my home's in Milwaukee. I'm gonna own this town. On Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, it's calling me that way. On Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, I think I'm going to stay. Yes, I might as well stay. I wake up in the middle of the night. My body feels like a block of ice. Hot sweat pouring out of me. I've got the plague of the century. It's like a freight train. It's like an airplane. It's like a hurricane taking me away. I was as good as I could be. My skin is as smooth as ivory. I swear to God I didn't mess around. That modern plague put me in the ground. It's like a freight train. It's like an airplane. It's like a hurricane taking me away.
and roll to end the show off. Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Trapper Schoepp. And we do have a couple more questions for you because we still have a little bit of time left, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to know, May Day, of course, the name of the album. It's also your birthday. Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
But of course, it has a lot of other connotations. Is that something that you learned about when you were a kid? Like, did your family teach you about that, or did you kind of learn that as you got older?
No, yeah, we didn't dance around the maypole
No?
or anything of that nature. But yeah, May Day is an old pagan holiday tied to the ideas of rebirth and springtime and renewal. And it's also tied to agricultural rituals. So you dance around the maypole, you sing, you have a good time, and that's sort of your way of hoping that the plants will come in all right in the harvest. So it's a holiday tied to, like I said, springtime, renewal, and these themes that I feel like we're in a pretty desperate need of right now. So.
Absolutely.
All right, I've got kind of a two-parter, I guess. The first time I remember you being on MSE, you were pretty young, you and your brother. Maybe
Oh my goodness.
teens at some point, maybe,
Thank
right?
you for having us. Yeah, wow.
You remember that.
Yeah, you took a giant leap of faith on us. I remember we even played, probably butchered a version of The Faces, Ooh La La. But yeah, sorry, go on.
No,
That was a great
no.
time.
I mean, I was just going to point out, you've been playing music since you were a teen or before then. Like, back then, you probably had this vision of what it meant to be a full-time musician and the life of. How has your vision changed since, you become more, into your own in your adulthood? Does your vision of a full-time musician lifestyle still seem the same to you, or?
Yeah, I do feel like it's a bit of a life of scripted chaos. So you can sort of chart your course in every which way, but the winds of change are going to pull you in all these different ways that you can never imagine, and things like the Bob Dylan song just popping up on the internet one day, and then taking that path. Yeah, there's just a multitude of strange happenstances that occur, and that's one thing that you tell if anyone says what are you doing with your life? It's like writing songs and trying to kind of weather the storm that is the creative life, because you're constantly sort of pulling from every which way and just trying to get a song together and get on the road. So.
Yeah, and because WMSC is celebrating our 40th, going back to that time when you first were on MSC, I'm curious to know, when you're a youngster, I'm assuming that's when you first came across MSC. Do you remember your first experience with our station?
Yeah, I remember volunteering and down at the bowling, what was it called? The Fish Fry and a Flick.
Oh,
I
yeah.
volunteered for WMSC for that. That was a good time, as I remember. But I think my most vivid memory is I was driving to get a burrito one day, and one of my early songs called Between the Lines came on WMSC, and I thought, wow, never really imagined that one of my songs would end up on the radio. But you probably think I say this to all the radio stations, but WMSC is my favorite radio station. It's the most eclectic and unique, and I just think it offers so much for this city. So happy 40th to WMSC, and thank you, Aaron and Cal, for keeping at it and amplifying local musicians like me.
Well, thanks, Trapper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Do you think you could squeeze in one more song before we let you go?
Of course. We'll go way back in time here to an album called Run Engine Run. And funny enough, I remember we were on that tour in Ogallala, and someone said, Yeah, one of the WMSE DJs has gone rogue, and he's playing your new album in full. And I thought, oh my goodness. I don't know who that was, maybe Noble or something, but we'll do the title track off that album.
Left his Mercedes Benz, a ruby red from '64. We wiped that hood clean and push the pedal to the floor. Last night we went out driving to see the fields my grandpa sweat. Those South Dakota summers just get harder to forget. Engine, keep turning till the day is done. Engine, for the man who asks for none. We're at an auction just a couple months before. It seemed he gave away everything he saved up to afford. He wore a cowboy hat, pearl snap shirt, got up real early for his daily work. He was tied to a tradition from a long, long time ago. Engine, keep turning till the day is done. Engine, for the man who asks for none, who asks for none. I was 16, riding shotgun. It was he, my brother, and I along the Black Hills gold, the prairie cold. We looked up at the sky. We took the 4 wheels for a test ride to the Prairie House restaurant. He called the waitress over and joked, surprise me with whatever you want. Engine, keep turning till the day is done. Engine, for
Trapper Schoepp on WMSE's Local Live. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
The new album Mayday comes out on Friday. Where can people find that?
All over the various streaming services and record stores. Bullseye Records in Milwaukee, my favorite shop, as well as Exclusive Company has it on vinyl. So go buy local, right?
And if people want to keep up to date with happenings in the Trapper Schoepp world?
The Facebooks, Instagram, just type my name into Google, I suppose, you know.
Works for me. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's Local Live. We want to tell you guys that tonight's edition of Local Live was broadcast and live streamed from the Ring in Walker's Point, and Local Live is a production of WMSC Radio 91.7 FM, produced by Aaron and myself. Audio and video engineering by Knieverland Productions, all graphic by Airtrock Design. Local Live is presented by Third Space Brewing. You have your home, you have your work, but everyone needs a third space. And thanks again to Trapper Schoepp for a great show.
And you can find upcoming segments and archives of past Local Live performances as well at WMSC.org. Just look at the shows and find Local Live on Tuesday nights. And also tune in again next week because we have a great Local Live interview coming up with the Oshi. And we will see you next week. Stay tuned for more details about next month at the Ring.